Hey, what's going on, guys? John Cochran, the King of Systems here, and today is System Saturday, the day that I bring you a system that I use in my business that you can rip off, duplicate, use right in your own local market. Now, I am back at the property that I was at last week on Buttercup in Vandalia, Ohio, where we were talking all about wholesaling and basically how you can increase your wholesaling profits by going out there and cleaning the property out, etc. Now, on today's System Saturday, what I want to talk about is, do you list your real estate wholesale deals on the MLS, or do you not go out there and do that? So I have a lot of really cool stuff for you packed inside of this System Saturday, so listen up. Now, here is the property, okay? So I was here a week ago. And this is the same exact property. We're marketing this property to look for our buyer. Now, it's very, very important, and what I want you to know is that we own this property, okay? So we own this property right now. So what we did was we bought this property for $53,000. We cleaned it out, and then we basically started marketing to find a buyer at $75,000, okay? So when it's all said and done, we're going to have about an $18,000 profit onto this deal. Now, a lot of people that go out there and buy these properties like this with the intention to wholesale, and what I mean by wholesale is we're just going in here doing very quick work into this thing, like cleaning this thing out, and then we're just going to resell this thing. Some people call them prehabs, some people call them wholetails. Whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. So I'm not talking about assignments. I'm not talking about any of that stuff, okay? Assignments and everything else you have to treat very, very differently. Now, a lot of people that go out there and they buy properties like this with the intention to go out. Here's what their intention is. I have the intention to go out there and wholesale this thing off, meaning not do anything to this thing, and put it up onto the market, and if it doesn't sell, then I will go out there and rehab that. I want to talk to you about the risks of doing that, okay? And then I want to show you how to eliminate all of those risks just in general. So what's the risks that we have with this? Okay, number one, we own this property, so we can market this thing any way that we want to. I could throw it onto the MLS. I could do anything that I want to do with it. I could really say anything that I want to say because we own this property. If I was assigning this deal, number one, I couldn't do a lot of this stuff. Well, I could do a lot of the stuff, but I just have to be very, cautious on what I actually say into the marketing. And rumor has it that here in a second, I'm actually going to give you the marketing materials that you can download that we're using right here onto this property to look for our buyer, like what Facebook ads, what we put on Marketplace, what we do with our email list, etc., to unload this property. So the risk that you have if you go out there and you buy a property and have the mindset, well, I'm going to try to sell this thing, and if it doesn't go out there and sell, well, I'll just go out there and rehab this thing. You just have to, in my opinion, you have to make your decision right straight up front of what you're going to do with that property and stick with that decision. And the reason is because if you go out there and you buy this property for, say, $53,000, like we did this one, you throw this thing onto the MLS for $75,000, you do other marketing, with that as well, but you throw it onto the MLS for $75,000, it doesn't go out there and sell, and then you rehab it. Well, that's dog-eared inside of the MLS. Now the MLS knows that you tried to go out there and you bought it for $53,000, and then you tried to go out there and sell it for $75,000. You weren't able to do it, so then you went out there and rehabbed it. The market knows that. So when you rehab it and you look for your end buyer with that, you're going to get all different types of questions. You're going to get lowballed on with this retail buyer and everything else because they're going to see what you had did. They're going to see your past history. So what I will tell you is that from experience, what I highly, highly suggest that you do is you stick to your guns on this. Meaning that if you buy a property and you want to go out there and wholesale it or whatever you want to do with it, you stick with that decision. You don't go out there and say, well, I'll go out there and rehab this thing if it doesn't go out there and sell. I got an idea. Why don't you just sell the damn thing? So let's talk all about selling the properties. Very, very quickly, getting what you want for the properties, etc. So many investors, that buy homes like this, the number one thing that they want to do is they want to save cost. That's the number one thing that they want to do. Well, so what do they do to save cost? They start, cutting pennies. And one of the very first things that they want to do is they don't want to list the property onto the MLS. Now, I'm not sitting here to tell you that it's impossible to sell properties that are not on the MLS. I'm not going to tell you any of that stuff. What I'm here to tell you is that if you're going to sell a property with the intention you buy it and then you're going to sell it without rehabbing this thing, you got to go all out. Right? You can't be like, well, I'll try it on my own for a week or two, and then if it doesn't go out there and sell, then I will go out there and list it onto the MLS, and if that doesn't work, well, then I'll go out there and rehab. You can't do that. That's almost like a new phone coming out, like an Apple iPhone coming out, and then, Apple, what they do is they'll do all the marketing, like they'll put it onto their website or whatnot, but they won't go out there and list it on TV and radio because it's like cost them money. Right? That just doesn't make any sense. So you got to go all out with it. So I would tell you that do a launch on your properties. Okay? And they will sell, especially into this market. They will sell. Like, you got to write blog posts on these. You got to shoot videos like this and showing, doing a video virtual tour on this and going, and putting this all on YouTube. You got to put it onto the MLS if you own the property. You got to email it and text it out to your buyers list. You got to put it on Facebook. You got to go out there and do Facebook Marketplace. Like, you got to put it on Craigslist. It has to be absolutely everywhere at all times. And that property will gain a lot of traction and it will sell very quickly. But again, the point is you got to do all of it. You got to do all of it because you don't want to go out there and kind of half-ass your marketing. Oh, it didn't sell. Well, I'll list it onto the MLS. And if it doesn't sell then, you just cost yourself time and everything else. And then I'll go out there and rehab it. Guys, that's not ever the answer. Stick with your decision with this. So I'm going to help you guys out. The whole goal when we sell a property is we want to sell every single house in 7 days or less. Okay, so we want to sell every single house in 7 days or less. So the thing of it is that I'm going to give you guys the marketing that we did on this house, exactly what we wrote. Okay, so meaning, the blog post, the Craigslist ads, the Facebook, marketplace, what that looked like, what we put on Facebook, what we put, absolutely everything, what we emailed our buyers list, etc. Just so that you guys can go out there and really get an idea of everything that we do, why we do all this stuff, so that you can go out there and make very quick profits very quickly and have every single one of your homes sold in just 7 days or less. So what you need to do to see exactly how to do this is go to 7daysandsold.com. 7daysandsold.com. Go there right now. I'm going to let you download everything that we did so that you can just rip that off, duplicate it, use right into your local market so that you can do that on all of your properties as well. It's my gift to you guys. Okay, I would appreciate you guys just to comment down below. Let me know what you think of all the material what we did into this thing. But again, the main purpose of this System Saturday that we're doing right now is to know exactly what you're going to do on every single one of the properties that you buy. Stick with that decision. Because if you don't stick with that decision, well, down the road, it could sting you. Like, again, if we went out there and we bought this thing for $53,000, which we did, tried to sell it for $75,000, oops, it doesn't sell. We listed on the MLS, etc., it didn't sell. Now we'll go out there and rehab it. MLS has marked that. So now when I go out there and rehab it, they know that I'm making a profit. They know that I tried to sell it. They might. It's just very, very difficult. It's hard to sell the property. So stick with your guns on exactly what you're going to do with all these properties. So this strategy works well. Going out there and wholesaling these properties or whatever you want to call it, the strategy works very well, but you got to move the properties fast. That is the name of the game. So go to 7daysandsold.com. You can download absolutely everything that we did to sell this property and to locate buyers and whatnot, and I will tell you it works very, very well. So go there right now and download all the material and start using that right into your market. Comment below, like this video, and share it, and I'll see you guys on the next System Saturday. See you guys.